It's them all bright with AVNation with the road to InfoComm. InfoComm 2023 happens June 14th through the 16th. And with me is the only Emmy winner that I can call a friend, Mr. John Henkel. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Tim. Happy to see you again. Looking good.
Thank you, sir. Looking good as well. 3723 is where we will find NETGEAR. We will find you. 3723 is where you shall be the week of InfoComm. If somebody comes into the NETGEAR booth, John, and they say, hey, Henkel, what's up? What will you have to show them?
Well, we're going to have lots to talk about. You know, we've had a couple of shows where we've just been spouting our normal awesomeness in the AV world. We have some new switches coming up, and we haven't quite announced those yet, and everything's not available for you to see on the website. Okay. It will be at the showtime for sure. So we have a new series of switches coming out that's going to rock your boat for AV. Take all the goodness of the M4250 we've talked about for years and the M4300s before that and spin that around together. We get the M4350. You heard it here first. Okay. M4350 switches. That's the coolness that we're going to show you at InfoComm. The cool other part of that is the father of Pro AV, who I call father of Pro AV, Laurent Massiel, will be there. And he's always great to listen to. We're doing demos on the hour for designing an AV over IP network. That always gets some attraction. We have seats at the booth too, so you can sit down, listen to Laurent, ask your questions. We're doing another panel discussion. He's giving a talk. Our manufacturers training as well in InfoComm. Yeah. There's so much going on, Tim. It's going to be a great show.
The one thing about and Laurent is not to be silly, but Laurent is French. So listening to him talk about AV is just a joy in itself. Listening to him talk about anything is a joy. But being able to come by and really hear from Laurent and you and the team at NETGEAR about how you guys are helping dealers, but also helping end users, get the AV over IP. Talk for a second, because you guys were at NAB as well, National Association of Broadcasters, and there was a number of vendors, a number of exhibitors that was in Vegas for NAB that will also be in Orlando, right? Yep. So talk for a second about kind of that dynamic, about how AV over IP is really exploding in the corporate world, in higher education, in broadcast, right, with a bunch of different protocols, and how NETGEAR is able to help all of those folks.
You know, it's the coolest thing for us because I talk about this metaphor a lot. We're the plumber, right? Yeah. We're just the pipes. Every building has plumbing. Every building has some cool fixtures. They're different. It's the same thing for us in AV over IP. We have to make some adjustments to our switches to handle things like SMPTE 2110 protocol. Yep. And that'll be part of this new series of switches that'll come out later in the year. The new switches will be in 2 phases. So we'll talk about that. In the meantime, with things like NDI, SDVOE, any kind of AV over IP from whatever format you want, it's got to go through a network switch. And that wasn't the case with HD-Base-T. You couldn't go through a network switch, but now everything's been, I should point out IPMX too. That's another one alliance we joined recently too. Yeah. All this stuff has to go through a switch. And that's why we've been listening and making these awesome switches that'll do from 1G up to 100G. So it's really been a pleasure for us to listen to the marketplace. And now at NAB, at InfoComm, at CEDIA, at whatever show you want, it's all over IP, whether it's audio or video, whether it's Dante or AVB or whatever million different video protocols, we can handle it all.
Yeah, absolutely. 3723 is where we will find you, John, and Laurent, and all sorts of really good NETGEAR stuff. But John, not everybody's going to the show. So if they don't go to InfoComm, how do they connect? How do they connect with you, or how do they follow along with all of the exciting announcements that NETGEAR will be making that week?
Well, certainly look for me on LinkedIn. I'm easy to find there, as long as you can spell my name. And then for just general product announcements, we'll get this together for the new models eventually at the showtime. They'll be ready at netgear.com/AV. You'll find all that there.
All right, very good. John Henkel from NETGEAR, thank you so much. For us, for AVNation, our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv, and follow along as we also head to Orlando for InfoComm 2023, 14th through the 16th of June. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.